Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, man. Today we're talking Washington Wizards. I feel like, first off, they had a really solid low-key offseason. I think that they even had a really low-key, even more low-key trade deadline last season with Kristaps Porzingis. They're just making good moves, and I think we're finally getting, not finally, that sounds kind of doggy, desperate, but I feel like all of their good moves they're adding up. And I really don't think people are noticing. I mean, I look at this Wizards squad and they're making the playoffs. They're the Washington Wizards, the Eastern Conference, no matter what the competition is looking like in the Eastern Conference this upcoming season, I look at Washington's roster, they're a top 8 seed to me. And I'm not an advocate for the play-in. I think it's absolute poverty. I think it's embarrassing, depressing. I think it's just not what I want to see. Yes, sometimes we get a good play-in game, but I don't know, man. I'm just not fully on board with the play-in quite yet, and I guess it's here to stay. And I'm all with King James saying whoever made the play-in should be fired. I really don't like it. But regardless, Washington will be, in my opinion, probably somewhere between 5 and 8 this upcoming season. You have Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal last season 23, 5 and 7. I think he gets severely underrated in general, probably just because he's playing for Washington, not necessarily. I'm definitely not trying to throw shade at the Washington Wizards or Washington D.C. in general, but you compare him to a Lakers, the Lakers are going to get the clicks. They're going, everyone, all the big names are talking about him, whereas Washington's just kind of flying below the radar, where they're really developing a really solid basketball squad. I mean, they have a big three in their own. You have Bradley Beal, Kyle Kuzma, and Kristaps Porzingis. Now, before we get into this, actually, hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NBA content. If you guys enjoy it, you want more Wizards videos, hit the like button, drop a comment down below. I would love to post way more Wizards content because my boy Siri and I, on our daily live NBA show, we talk about the Wizards quite a bit, actually. We've talked about them every day so far this week. It's only Tuesday, but still, they have a nice big three. And, Washington will probably have a decision to make at some point in this upcoming season because you have Porzingis and Kuzma coming to the end of their contracts, and it's like, all right, are we going to pay both of these guys? Are we going to pay one of them? Are we going to trade one of them? Are we going to trade both of them? Or are we going to let both of them walk? They're going to have some decisions with Kuzma and Porzingis, but I think, here's my prediction. I think Bradley Beal, Kuzma, and Porzingis fully healthy is going to make some noise. Kuzma severely underrated. Bradley Beal severely underrated. Kristaps underrated because he gets injured a lot. If he could just stay healthy, I mean, sky's the limit for this squad, man. It really is. Monte Morris was a very low-key, underrated pickup. I can't think of who I was comparing him to earlier today, but Monte Morris is very well, 13, 3, and 4, very much so a starting point guard in this league. I don't think point guard is, I don't want to say it's as important as the other positions. I definitely don't want to say that, but I think if you have a point guard who's out there playmaking, he's creating shots for his teammates, and he's also contributing offensively and defensively, I really think that's all you need. So I look at Monte Morris, I look at DeLon Wright, also a new addition, and I think that's perfectly fine at the point guard position. Their starting lineup will probably look something like Monte Morris, Bradley Beal. Real GM has Corey Kispert starting as small forward. I don't know if he's quite there yet. I think Will Barton will start at small forward. Kyle Kuzma, power forward. Kristaps Porzingis at the center. They're actually way deeper than a lot of people, I think, give them credit for. You have DeLon Wright. You have Denny Avdija, who might actually end up starting by the end of this season. Denny can clamp any player in this league right now. Literally right now, one-on-one. Give some stud of basketball and throw Denny on defense, and he'll clamp him up right here, right now. And once his offense gets going, game over. So I'm very big on Denny. I'm very big on Denny. Rui's in an interesting spot. All right, he's in a Johnny Davis, also brand new draft pick. He's a great scorer, and he's going to have an impact on Washington this upcoming year. But moving forward with their bench, I look at Rui Hachimura, who missed a good chunk of the beginning of the season last year due to personal issues. I think he was poised for a breakout year. So, in my opinion, this might be a hot take for Wizards fans. I'm not quite sure. Let me know down below. But I would probably trade Rui if he isn't contributing the way I want him to contribute. And by that, I mean continuing to ascend. Because we know with Roy, we know with Roy, you're going to get good defense. You're going to get some solid scoring. You're going to get a solid rebounder. Like, he's a solid basketball player, 100%. But if there is some type of value, maybe Rui is the guy who you try and trade for mid-season to try and get somebody who's going to take your team to the next level. Like I said, I'm not trying to rag on Rui at all because I think he was poised for a breakout year. But unfortunately, he went through some personal family issues, which, it sucks, man. It just absolutely sucks. And, I don't want to assume anything. But just putting myself in his shoes from what I can understand of, it's just a horrible situation, and I definitely feel for him. And so hopefully he can break out for the Wizards this upcoming season. But moving deeper into the depth chart, you have new acquisition, Taj Gibson, who will provide at the very worst veteran mentorship off of the bench. You have Daniel Gafford, who, as a Chicago Bulls fan, I love Daniel Gafford, and it was very cool, and it's been very cool to see kind of his ascension in the league once he left Chicago. But, I mean, I look at this team, I'm like, they're just solid. And Corey Kispert, too. He had a solid season this past year. He's extremely young, and he'll provide for you off of the bench this upcoming season. Monty Morris, Bradley Beal, Will Barton / Denny / Kispert, whoever they're going to throw at the 3, with Kyle Kuzma, who's, by the way, been putting up stats. And I know they're like amateur leagues, and I know it's just like pro-ams or just, semi-casual basketball runs, but still, Kyle Kuzma's been having one hell of a summer, and I'm glad he's getting to work because he's extremely underrated. And, if you watched the Lakers when he was still with the Lake Show, you knew once Kyle Kuzma went to his own team, or not necessarily his own team, but once he got out from LeBron James, who demands the basketball, you knew he was going to be set up for at least a successful role player in the NBA. So I love Kyle Kuzma's ascension so far. And like I said, Bradley Beal, Kyle Kuzma, Kristaps Porzingis, if you can just stay healthy, man, you're severely underrated. You're severely talented. And, I'm not saying the Wizards are necessarily going to win the NBA Finals this year, but this is a great building block. I've looked at some Wizards trades recently. We talked about it on the show today. I'm not really vibing with any of them. One of them was for Donovan Mitchell. I thought that was kind of absurd. I just haven't really liked what I've seen as far as Washington Wizards potential trades. I feel like they're either getting somebody who isn't going to help them out that much compared to who they have currently, or I just feel like what you're giving up, the package you're giving up, is not worth who you're receiving. So I think Washington will fall between 5 and 8 this upcoming season. Go ahead, drop some comments, opinions down below. That's it for today, man. Hit the like button, hit that sub button. I'll catch you cats later, man. Peace.